What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about supplements, okay? So supplements actually only give you 2% of your results, all right? They are something that you manipulate later on in a plan or an exercise regime where you feel like you've hit a plateau and you're looking for something a little bit extra, okay? But 98% of your results is going to come from your nutrition, education, training, and working on your mindset, all right? The basics first will always supersede any substance enhancement later on, all right? So what you will sometimes see is people using protein a lot, okay? Now, I have protein because of its convenience and because I try and get my protein up, but realistically, protein is in all of our food, and anybody that tries to tell you the bodybuilding benefits of protein over real food doesn't necessarily know what they're talking about. So always think real food first, and you'll be pretty right in trying to get your protein, okay guys? Around about 2 grams per kilo of body weight for males, slightly less for females if you are training. Obviously moderate it. According to that, if you're not training, you probably don't need as much protein or calories for that matter, etc. Right? Number 2 is fat burners, right? So fat burners will really not do much other than raise your body temperature, okay? And you might burn a couple extra calories by the extra heat being produced in your body, but you're not really going to be able to burn as much fat as what you think you are, okay? Like I said before, supplements are okay later on if you have hit a plateau, right? And you might need to use a fat burner. A lot of people use them, and I think this is kind of a good way to use them for the subconscious psychological benefit you get from using a fat burner. It's like, oh, I've had my fat burner today, it cost me a lot of money, and I should really stay on track with my diet, okay? That is a useful strategy when using fat burners, but they're really not gonna make too much of a difference, guys, okay? About 1% difference, yep. Next up is BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, okay? This is essentially just tasty water. People say that you're helping your protein synthesis and that you'll build more muscle and you'll stay less catabolic and your muscle won't eat itself if you're sipping on BCAAs in between meals. But if you are eating real food first, like I told you before, your amino acid profile in your body and what your body's using to make muscle will be fine. It will be fine, honestly, right? Last one, pre-workout. Now, pre-workout is essentially just caffeine mixed with other things that make you tingle and make you feel crazy, okay? Pre-workout isn't gonna make too much of a difference to your routine, but it is something that later on when you're doing, say, heavy strength sessions or you're training after a full day's work, I think it's a good option to use it then to give you a bit of a pick-me-up. But keeping in mind, caffeine will be stored in your body for 8 hours at a time, okay? So if you have it at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and you're going to bed at 9, I'm sorry, but you're not hitting those deeper stages of sleep, all right? So just one thing to consider, yeah? Now, supplements that actually do work, okay? We've got them over here. Creatine. Now, creatine is a very tested and proven supplement. It can be used to increase strength and endurance, okay? Some people say it causes balding. I don't know. It's up to you. Most males bald anyway, so if you're taking creatine or not, who's to say it wasn't just genetics causing that? So yeah, creatine's a good one to use, you know, pre-workout, or you can do what's called loading and stuff. But yeah, you'd have to look into exactly what to do on what days. Again, not going to make a crazy difference, but it is tested and it does make somewhat of a notable difference as opposed to the other ones, guys. All right. Next one is ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is a herb used for stress relief, okay? So some people mix it in with their teas and stuff at the start of their day, and they kind of just get throughout their day stress-free, because when we're operating stress-free, we are operating optimally. So yeah, I recommend ashwagandha as well. Next one is magnesium oil spray. Now, I have this before bed. I spray it on my abdomen and I rub it in for about a minute until it's all in there. It will sting the skin, but it's really good for helping you get into those deeper stages of sleep. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, wow, I feel amazing, okay? So just quickly, magnesium is a cofactor in 700 enzyme systems in the body, roughly, right? So when it's in our body, it's essentially like you have 700 locks in your body Each lock represents a function, repair, digestion, whatever. Magnesium will be the key that goes into that lock, opens it, and then it will cause that cascade of chemical reactions and allow that chemical reaction to switch on. Okay, so really cool in how it works with the body, but yeah, it works in 700 different processes, highly complicated, but really cool to know. And then we have zinc over here. So zinc, if it's powdered, is one of my favorite supplements for naturally increasing your testosterone. And so testosterone is obviously linked to higher sex drive and higher energy. So I recommend you get some zinc powder first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and you will notice a difference in about 2-3 weeks, and you might have to use it a bit sparingly because it does make you pretty jumpy in terms of, yeah, sex drive. But anyway, we're moving on to fish oil now. Now, fish oil is another one that some people use. You've just got to make sure there's over 2,000 milligram doses when you're reading the label of EPA and DHA, because any less, and there won't be too much of a cognitive benefit or a hormonal balance effect. Sorry. So yeah, fish oil is another really good one for that one. And obviously, yeah, reducing inflammation too. But if you're doing a bit of magnesium and zinc, your body's doing a very good job of repairing itself anyway, as well as protein. So yeah, it's just another additive. And the last one is a multivitamin. This isn't one that I generally say to people to use, but it can be good for covering all bases to make sure you aren't nutrient deficient in some areas. Because if you're nutrient deficient in some areas, things like fat burning don't occur as efficiently. So it can be a good thing just to do, just so you know you're covering all bases there, but it's not absolutely necessary. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you today on supplements, guys. Again, only 2% of results come from them. The rest, 98%, is nutrition, education, training, and mindset. But if you did want to explore that route later on, when you hit a plateau, I think these ones are a good place to start. Cool. Thank you.